Welcome back, everyone, to Black River Falls. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions, as we're ready to bring you some semifinal wrestling action. What they're going to be doing is on mats 2 and 3, are two on the top right, lower left. These two here that I'm moving, those are going to be the semifinal matches. And on the outside matches 1 and 4, and we're already starting, those are going to be consolation semifinals. Nakusa is unfortunately going to get pinned over here at 106. Didn't see that one coming. We're going to go through the team scores real quick here for you. Let's go through, and Portage is leading the way with 145 points. They're rolling right along. Sparta doing a good job. They have 99. Baroka with 98. Along with that, it's going to be Auburndale with 92. Whitehall with 78, Ladysmith with 71. Black River Falls and Stratford are tied at 63, Durand with 58. Stanley Boyd 54, DeSoto 53. Nakusa 47, GT Melmin 39, Onalaska 31, Bruce 27, Pittsville 14, and Thorpe 7. But again, your top 5, Portage, Sparta, Baroka number 3, Auburndale, and Whitehall. All right, well, here we go. In our semifinal action, a quick pin here for Auburndale. That's going to be a 45-second pin. That was on the orange mat. So we are going to get back through and start looking at those brackets here right away as we pick up on things. We got our future cheerleaders here in front of us. So if you see some young gals dancing through the screen, that's what's going on. Who knows? They might be future wrestlers. Girls State Wrestling Tournament going to be starting out this year, first time around. That's pretty cool. Ladysmith in Zekchus picks up the pin, and he is going to be in the finals. Going to be taking on Auburndale in Goddard. Well, they were talking about, wrestling back to third, but they're not showing that on our bracket sheet, so we'll have to wait and see on that. We're moving into 113 pounds now at the Black River Falls tournament. Over here it's going to be Strasser. Let's move our, have to move our bracket here to 113. Trying to pick up, we'll try and get to the others as we go, but right now it's going to be Ostrom of Nakusa taking on Weiler of Auburndale. That is on mat 3, the lower left. And looks like that's a lead here right now for Auburndale. He's got the cradle locked in. Over on the other mat, on the orange mat here in the semifinals, it is Hench, I hope I'm saying that right, from Black River Falls, wrestling Johnson of Whitehall. It's a 2-0 score right now in favor of Whitehall. Auburndale in Wheeler, could be Weiler, but I think it's Wheeler, has a lead now on his opponent from the Coosa in Ostrom. Ostrom had knocked off Strasser, who was the top seed. Trying to scoot around behind is Hench. He just can't quite break free. And it's going to be controlled back to Johnson of Whitehall. Auburndale with the lead and on top here, looking for a near side cradle. Trying to get tilt if nothing else. We have a pinning combination here for Whitehall. Johnson on Hench. Hench trying to keep that left shoulder up off the mat, doing a good job so far. That right one is definitely planted. Now he'll switch back and forth, trying to rock back and forth. Hard to bridge right now. Got that half Nelson in, trying to lift the head, and there's the pin. Into the second period, it's going to be a pin. Whitehall and Johnson will make it to the finals. And a pin going on for Wheeler of Auburndale. So both wrestlers in the finals on a roll here with the championship side showing some pinning combinations. Over on mat number 4, that's 120 pounds if I remember right. In Montes, he is picking up a takedown, or was that a reversal? Maybe just had control here. We'll have to move to that 120-pound bracket. Let you know what we got going on here. At 120, it's Wargowski of Auburndale. He's in the semis. And he is taking on, let's see, Cryer from Portage. And in the other semifinal, it's Duran's Baker. You can see here on mat 3, lower left, taking on Litzo of Sparta, the number 2 seed. We got a pinning combination going on the orange mat here. Wargowski in trouble for Auburndale. Got caught in a cradle here with Portage. And there's the pin. Krier of Portage will be in the finals. Meanwhile, on the opposite side over here in the Montes from DeSoto taking on Filson from Thorpe. Right now, that score is now 9-6. Thorson picking up some back points here. has that lead with 35 seconds to go, and it looks like that's in the match itself. At 126 pounds on the orange mat, we've gone into the semifinals. This is going to be Stanley Boyd, Chase Beckett of Portage, going takedowns right now on Stanley Boyd and Justin McManus. Over here on the black mat, lower left again, take a look here. That is going to be at 120 pounds. There's a pin, by the way. And Chase Beckett will be in the finals. Well, let's see if they bump this up to 132 or what they will do. There's the pin, though, at 120. Sparta Litzau getting the job done. So we're going to have 126 and 132 going on. We know that Beckett has won. This is going to be Nitz from Stanley Boyd. That's on the black mat. Another DeSoto wrestler over here on the black mat, mat number 4, upper left-hand side. That should be at 126, I believe. Checking, that should be Gavin McDowell. So we got Ladysmith and Sparta at 132 pounds. I'll get you those names here in just a second. Meanwhile, taking a look here, excuse me, at 126 championship match, Nitz of Stanley Boyd and Ryan of Portage. And we just got him caught in the 3/4, and there's a pin. Portage and Ryan just found himself pinned. Nitz will be in the finals. Out of bounds they go. McDowell trying to check and see, he is trailing 2-0 and now has just been put into a cradle situation. Tough spot right there. Trying to fight off, so far able to fight that off. And let's take a look. His opponent here is our other team that we're following here, and Vinny Klum. Klum out in front now, 5-0. Here comes Viroqua and Ethan Dobbs. This is at 132. He has an opponent from Stanley Boyd here, the Orioles. So a couple of Blackhawks and a Pirate out there on the mat that we're keeping track of, and kind of let you know who McDowell had caught. Again, Klum really working in on that cradle. Got that one locked up pretty well. The time is going to run out. He'll pick up another 3 points, and Vinny Klum is out in front, 8-0. At 132 pounds. Dobbs is taking on Brzezinski of Stanley Boyd. He was 12-6 last year as a sophomore. Dobbs last year, I'm trying to remember, he just missed going to the state tournament. He would have been in the state tournament if it was 2 years ago when they took 3 wrestlers, but this time around he only took 2 last year. There's a reversal, throwing those legs in, and a good ride for Ethan Dobbs. Both these wrestlers, you can tell they're smooth. Klum, meanwhile, has picked up a takedown and leads 10-0 over DeSoto. And that was McDowell. (10-1) as McDowell is able to get free. He's shooting in, looking for a double leg, and he brings Klum down to the mat. Klum tries to bring him up over the top, trying to kick through, but this is going to be a tough one right now as Klum might be caught in, could have been a Granby, but now McDowell will just have to kind of release that potential move and winds up with the takedown, cutting the lead to 10-3. McDowell with a spurt of energy here. Wrestling the freshman and Vinny Klum. Brzezinski of Stanley Boyd. I think we might have a 2-2 score here, I'm not sure. We're going to get a pin over on mat 1. consolation side. Well, Vinny Klum is going to move on at 126. He will be wrestling for 5th place. The other semifinal is 3-2. I guess I have to move to 132. I was sitting at 126 for the, looking at track wrestling there. Roscoe of Ladysmith and Condor of Sparta. Here's a high crotch fireman's attempt here by Dobbs. No points yet. Still trying to scoot through underneath here. Time is running out. And time is going to run out. Boy, that was close. 4-3 your score here. Brzezinski, I guess, not Byrne, Brzezinski is in the lead at 4-3. Pinning combination going on over on mat 4. We now bumped up to 138. I missed right down who had won that match previous. We are going to get a pin down there, it looks like. Looks like Portage picks up the pin over Bruce. Brzezinski might have just picked up some back points here. There's 3 near fall. Well, it's somewhere around that 30 seconds left here for Ethan Dobbs. He'll stand up, get the 1-point escape. There's going to be a takedown on the edge of the mat. Now they'll go out of bounds. Come back to the center with a fresh start, but Brzezinski with a pretty good lead right now. he's going to let him go, which is an interesting call, as Dobbs can be pretty dangerous. We've seen it before up on his feet, but Brzezinski is going to do everything he can to stay away from that, any kind of upper body throw. And that's going to do it right there. So Brzezinski is going to pick up the win. Well, I'm not sure what the score was. It might have been 6-3. That was more than 6-3. But as it turns out, Brzezinski will be wrestling in the championship match. And I didn't see who will be his opponent, who won that other match. Roscoe, I thought, was in the lead. We'll see if it will do anything if I refresh. Maybe it'll catch up, huh? Let's see what we got here. It was Roscoe. He did win by a point. I wasn't 100%. I thought he was ahead, but I knew that was a pretty close match also. Roscoe of Ladysmith going on. Well, we got a Thorpe wrestler wrestling over on mat 4. Now we're going to get a pin by McCormick for Black River Falls. I tell you what, that young man is, Jackson is a very solid wrestler. His opponent coming up here, we'll see, because right now it is Trevino and let's see, it's Altman of Auburndale. Those two are wrestling here on the black mat, lower left. So the winner of that match will get Jackson McCormick of Black River Falls. pretty good hip over here by 145 pounder for GT Mel Min. That was Hayden Fry. Let's see who his opponent is at 145. It looks like it is Matthew Poulos from Whitehall. That score reads 5-2 right now in favor of Fry. Fry trying to get out to the side and pick up that armbar, but Poulos is doing a good job of keeping his base and not going down to the mat. Over on mat 1, buzzer's gonna sound. We have Black River Falls and DeSoto. Now I think that might be, I'm gonna check and make sure that that's, that could be, is that Seth over there? That might be Seth Greeno taking on the Tigers, Gebhardt. We got another timeout over here on the black mat. It's always a tough one when you get bloody nose and things of that nature, especially this early in the season, and it's just going to be troublesome from here on out. 5-2 score for Greeno over on mat 1. That is in the upper right side. Trying to work a cradle, he just cannot get the turn right now as he's working in with that 5-2 lead. Well, here comes an update. Thank you so much. Appreciate that help from, there's a pin by Whitehall. Wow, trailing in that match. He picks up the pin at 145. That was Poulos of Whitehall, number 1 seed. Was finding himself in a bit of a tough spot, but he came back through and picked up the pin. Gonna jump up to 152. It's going to be Becker of Stratford taking on Buchanan of Onalaska. That match right here on the orange mat. Meanwhile, Greeno driving in, he picked up 2 but did not get any back points. Oh, he did get the back points, all right. I didn't think he counted, but he did. Now, I don't know, that score says 5-4, but I thought it was different than that. Let's take a look and go back and see what's going on here at 146. Is this 145 or are we down to 138 yet? I think we could be at 138 yet here, folks. Trevino and Altman, that's what's going on there. Reno picking up a reversal, got some back points here. For the Pirates. That's on mat 1. Now he's trying to run what looks to be an Iowa. Pretty good scramble going on here on mat 3 with Altman of Auburndale and Trevino of Stanley Boyd. Now Altman's going to pick up the takedown. Well, it looks like a 9-7 score over here, and I think it is going to be Reno picking up the win. He'll get to move on. I don't know, did I miss Solberg or is Ethan coming up here? Ethan Solberg might be coming up. There he is. He's coming up on mat 1 also. Reno at 132 moves in for 5th place. That was a great match. And Altman is going to pick up the pin here over Trevino. He will take on, so now Noah Altman will take on Jackson McCormick of Black River Falls, the top seed. That'll be just a little bit later on here. Meanwhile, Solberg steps out onto the mat at 138 on mat 1. Picked up a takedown and then went for the crossface cradle, and official said it might have been just a little bit too hard. Gonna lose a point there. Here at 145, right underneath us now. Is Broker. Preston with that initial takedown. Now they're going to wave off the escape. It would have been 4-1, but really did not break away and face him. Broker did such a good job with that step through and snagging that leg once again on the single leg. Look how he just stays on the attack. That's really excellent wrestling right there. His opponent in Garrett Crawford is the number 3 seed. Preston knocked off the number 2 seed from Pittsville in a fall at 1:02 in the quarters to make it to the semis. Meanwhile, Solberg has that 2-1 lead. Here's a little toss by Broker. Granby Rowe coming up here. And he'll get the 2, and now he's picking up back points. Boy, that was a tough move there by Crawford. That's going to be a 3 near fall, and he'll take a 5-2 lead. I think Crawford deferred, and Broker chose neutral. Going with a little bit of a Russian tie, now trying to get that underhook. Oh, he's got a beautiful throw. Great hip action here. And Broker picking up back points here off from that takedown. Putting some pressure on Crawford. Broker stepping up over the top here, trying to keep those shoulders exposed to the mat. Oh, there's the pin. Wow. Broker doing a nice job there, coming up with the pin. And he'll move into the finals, taking on the top seed in Matthew Polis. Here comes Aiden Brzezinski now at 160 pounds. We'll have to catch up with 152 because I lost track of those, and I lost track of Ethan as well. So we'll try and get those picked up and figured out. Ethan coming up through, I think he won. He's getting a lot of fist bumps. Here comes Brzezinski. Brzezinski, the top seed, is taking on Cole from Onalaska. Ephraim Cole. I wonder if this is the young man that moved in from Indianapolis. Could have been. At the seating meeting, the coaches were talking about how he goes, he moved from Indianapolis. I really don't know anything about him other than that he had qualified for state a couple of times. Okay, that's enough. Well, here's a pin at 160 for Lady Smith in Hanson. He picks up a pin. Via the fall. Rosinski, boy, he is really coming hard on that pinning combination, and there it is. Rosinski picks up the pin. He will face Hanson from Ladysmith. Gonna quickly go to 170 pounds now in this semifinal. Trying to keep track, make sure anybody on the outskirts. We'll get to them, but as far as the viewing area with Viroqua and DeSoto, and we want to kind of showcase these guys in the semifinals. Well, speaking of in the semifinals for Viroqua, Anthony DePietro is in the semis. His opponent is Jordan Starr of Portage, the number 2 seed. And it's going to get a toss here. Boy, I tell you what, he almost had it blocked, but almost. It's not going to cut it against this guy. There's the pin. Starr picks up the pin over the freshman DePietro from Viroqua. Muscling up a weight class or so. Tell you what, that was a pretty good try. Can't be ashamed of anything like that. It'll definitely drive him, though. That drives a lot of wrestlers when you think about it. Oh, I said Ethan? I'm sorry. I'm spacing out.
And I know better, too. It's just in my head. Everybody's got it. What was Steve saying? I'll try to remember that.
Oh, I kept calling Evan Ethan Soberg. How about that? Once you know. And I do know better, too. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. Here at 170 on the orange mat. Time is going to run out here as Luke from Stratford and Conley from Sparta. That's a 5-0 score. And 182. It is Lady Smith. That's Roach on the black mat and Kleinhans from Whitehall. That's what we have going on right there. Seven nothing your score on the orange mat now. At 170, Stratford and Luke now has a pinning combination and the pin, just like that. Brecken checked that. Carter Luke, boy, only a freshman. Watch out for that young man. Pinning combination over here. Time is going to run out at 182. So 170, the championship match is set. If we get a chance, we'll go back through and try and clean things up, but we're just going to go with what we can here. Lady Smith, Roach, and Kleinhans. Kleinhans with a nice reversal. And it's 5-2, but it is 5-2 green, which means Roach has the lead. And now Roach able to break that cradle, has the reversal and back points, and oh boy, this one's getting tight. There's the fall. Roach of Ladysmith picking up the pin over the number 2 seed. 3 over number 2. Here comes DeSoto in Woodhouse in the semifinals. No score here at 182 on the orange mat. Welch of Sloan Welch of Auburndale and Klaas from Sparta. Woodhouse taking on Greenberg, Patrick Greenberg of Stratford. Woodhouse is going to pick up the first takedown, and now they'll go out of bounds right underneath us. Woodhouse trying to chop the arm of Greenberg, excuse me. Woodhouse and Greenberg, and now potentially dangerous as they stand up, and they'll go back to the center of the mat. 182 on the orange mat, 195 on the black mat, upper right and lower left. There was a pin down on mat number 1. That was on Alaska and Stratford. Woodhouse working that pinning combination, had the arm bar, and boy, I tell you what, Greenberg showed some pretty good limberness. He was pretty limber. This time, though, the turn is going to take place. Woodhouse is going to get the pin. Woodhouse, the number 3 seed. Picks up the pin and moves into the finals. He will not know who he's wrestling until at least another 6-7 minutes away. Going to move into that 220 pound, or yeah, 220. Let's see where we're at here on the black mat. This is 220 with Theo of Auburndale and Bruner of Durand. Meanwhile, over on the black mat, mat number 1, we have a Baroque wrestler going in on the shot here in Austin Winker, and he'll pick up the first point, getting the takedown. Going right up on top, looking for the crossface cradle series. Trying to get a toss. Oh, Durand does exactly that on Auburndale. At 220. Ethan Bruner really trying to stay off the back. Oh, he couldn't do it. Durand picking up the pin here, and Bruner. So Bruner with the pin moves into the finals, and he'll have to wait and see who he has for an opponent in a little while. Meanwhile, on the orange mat, Welch has himself in a good one here with Sparta at 182. And Klaas, it's tied at 3-3. Big guys are coming out here at 285. Welch picks up the takedown and leads 5-3. 25 seconds remaining in the match. .285, we're going to have Nakusa Welch is going to let Klaas go, and he'll win 5-4. Boy, what a match there. That was an excellent match. Schaefbauer of Nakusa, number 2 seed, taking on, I believe that is Martinez. Yes, it is, from Bruce. So 2 versus 3. Meanwhile, 195. It's Lady Smith and Grant Ridlin, or Rydlin, taking on Jack Callan, who's from Portage. 4-0 score for Austin Winker, by the way. Nakusa is going to pick up the win, number 2 seed, at 285 in Schaffbauer. Four nothing your score. A minute 25 to go in period number 3 for Austin Winker. Viroqua Blackhawks. And we're going to get a pin over here on mat 4. Winker at 6-2 now, or 6-0, excuse me. There was 52 seconds remaining. The clock continuing to run up for him. There's a reversal, 6-2. Winker with hand control, able to get release, and has the escape, and now a 5-point lead with 20 seconds remaining. Should be 7-2. Winker comes up with the Splato and the pin. Wow, he just slipped right into that one. And not much you can do once you get caught in that Splato, especially if your back is already exposed. And that's what happened there. Gayton of Portage, he knew it too as soon as he had the whistle hit him. It was like drats. Well, let's see what we have here now as we move to 195 on the orange mat. It is still Ladysmith in Ridland on the mat. We got a couple of guys from Bruce wrestling here in the semis. Well, that shows their strength, doesn't it? They're able to do that. So Winker coming across here, and he's got to feel good about getting that win, right? Ridland, oh boy, somehow he almost got overpowered, but he was able to twist out of that and come away with a takedown himself. That was a pretty good move. For Viroqua, DePietro is out on mat 1. Looking to try and pick up a win to get to the 5th place match. Aaron. out in front 2-1. So a couple of matches to kind of keep an eye on. Take a look and see now Petro taking on his, it's Sanis of GET Melmin. 2-2 score as he was able to break away. To the score. With DePietro over on mat 1. He picked up a takedown. Then they went out of bounds there. He was kind of rolling his shoulder a little bit there. Hopefully nothing too major going on. Sanis able to get the escape, and he is out in front 4-3. Petro jumps right back into things, trying to get that takedown again, and finds himself nearly on the bottom. They're going to go out of bounds if they give him the 2 or just say he was out of bounds. He's feeling like, it's looking like he's got something going on there, and he does give up the takedown, so he's trailing 5-4 with 5 seconds remaining here. Not able to get away. Good effort. And we're going to get a stop here on the orange mat. Petro now trailing 7-4. On mat number 1, that's the upper left. We have Callan from Portage and Ridlin of Ladysmith, it looks like. That's 12-7. We have a match going on here, and now trying to fight off his back. This, I think, is that a 220? Sparta and, I don't know, I'm not sure. 195, it said. Well, that was Durand and Sparta. That might have been consolation match. Maybe they had to get a consolation match in there. They shouldn't be jumping too far ahead just yet. They should get everything else caught up first here. 11-9, 11-6, excuse me. A throw by DePietro makes it 11-8. The time is going to run out. So Sanus is going to pick up the win at 182. That was on the upper left. 20 seconds remaining. Here comes, looks like another, this could be a consolation. Let's see here. There's a point. Maybe fleeing the mat, I'm not sure. It's 12-10 now. It might have been like a third violation, so it was 2 points, not one. Kolb from Stratford is taking on Gardy of Viroqua over on mat 1. Well, let's see here. Who's going to get the win? It's going to be Portage. Callan picking up the win. It's a bit of an upset. Well, at 2:20, this match right here, championship match, semifinal. Briggerman from Sparta and Christoph from Portage. Look like, well, thank you. Now I'm really going to be in good shape. Getting things updated again here. You're already picking up the win at 2:20. So now we'll be caught up on all those other ones that I knew I did not have, so that's huge. It's good to know people in high places such as Andy Osegard, athletic director here at Black River Falls. Huge help right there. Well, we're finishing things up. There's a nice throw by Briggerman from Sparta. There's a pin by Whitehall. And done. Cradle situation put in. Briggerman trying to rock this one down and finish things off. Boy, he is so close. There it is. That was at 220. I might have said 285, but he'll get the win. And there you have it. So far, we're going to be set. We're going to take a quick little break here and get things relined, I believe. And championship placement matches coming up here at the Black River Falls 2021 High School Wrestling Invitational.